Hello chess fans, this is Rick from Chess to Impress with a video on the favorite game of the sponsor. What is this about? Well, this is about woman Grandmaster Erika Sziva. She is a 4-time Hungarian champion, then moved to the Netherlands and became 5-time Dutch champion. She owns the online shops, the MindgameShop and the Beste Zet, which means the best move in Dutch. And she is the sponsor of the Chess to Impress YouTube channel. She's been very generous in sending me a number of books which I have been raffling in my live streams. You see the logo there of the MindgameShop. The link is in the description box. It would be great if you could go there, click on the link and see what the MindgameShop and the Beste Zet have on offer. And even better if you order something from them. But apart from owning these online shops, Erika Sziva is of course also a very strong chess player, a woman grandmaster. So I asked Erika for her favorite game, and she told me that the game she really likes is the game she played on board one of the Dutch national team in the 1992 Olympiad in Manila on the Philippines, where the Netherlands played England, and on the first board Sziva played with black against Susan Lalic. Let's have a look at that game. As mentioned, Lalic was white and Sziva was black. E4 from Susan Lalic and C5, the Sicilian from Erika Sziva. Knight C3, Knight C6, F4, we are in a closed Sicilian. G6, Knight F3, Bishop G7, Bishop B5, Knight D4, Lalic castles, and here the main move is Knight takes B5, but Sziva plays A6, kicking the bishop. Bishop back to D3, and here D6 is the main move as per the databases, but Sziva plays the other pawn, the other central pawn, E6. Now white could have taken on D4, and after C takes D4, Knight E2, then Knight E7. That is a variation that's been played before, but Lalic did not take on D4. She played E5, shutting down that bishop on G7. Here black has different options. Sziva could have taken on F3 with check. She could have played D5. They're both more common than the move played in the game, which was the pawn from F7 to F5. B3 from Lalic, D6 from Sziva. That pawn was taken, and B5. It's the 5th pawn move in a row from Sziva. She's not worried about taking back on D6 straight away. That D6 pawn is not going anywhere. Bishop B2. Lalic is finishing her development, and now Sziva took on D6, attacking the F4 pawn. And here, and that's not an easy decision, but according to the engines, the best way for white to play this is to sacrifice a pawn with Knight E5. And this is a possible variation. Bishop takes, F takes, Queen takes, Rook E1 hitting the Queen, and then Queen D6, and white has compensation for the pawn. Black is far from full development and has holes in her position, especially on the king side, with the king's bishop, the bishop of the dark colors, missing. But it's not an easy decision to sacrifice a pawn, and after queen takes d6, Lalic did not play knight e5, she played knight takes d4. Bishop takes d4 check, king stepped aside, and bishop b7. Black now has two beautiful bishops. Queen e2 from Lalic, and here moves like knight f6 or knight e7 are fine, but so is the move played in the game by Sziva, which was king f7. Here the engine gives a4 as the best move, setting up some play on the queen side, but Lalic played rook a e1. Knight f6, developing that piece, and here, because of those strong bishops, black really should have played something like knight d1. This was already called for to neutralize black's bishop of the dark squares. We get a variation as follows: bishop takes, knight takes, and h5. We see h5 in the game as well, but here it is less powerful because the dark squared bishops have been swapped. Instead, Lalić played a4, and that's not a good move, because now h5 is very strong. Now it's too late for knight d1 to try and swap those dark squared bishops, because Sziva already can play h4 here. And after bishop takes, c takes, black has a very strong attack on the king side. The computer is already on -2. But we see an even stronger attack in the game. After h5, played by Sziva, Lalić took on b5, and Erika Sziva played h4. She keeps going forward, ignoring loss of material on the queen side. Lalić took another pawn, and now the very strong move, the best move in the position found by Erika Sziva, knight h5. You cannot take that bishop on b7, because if you do, you get checkmated in a few moves. Knight z3 check. H takes c3 is the only move. H takes back with check, and mate on the next move. You can only interpose the queen on h5, which gets taken with checkmate. So after knight h5, as said, you cannot take that bishop, and Lalić of course saw that. She played knight e4, but that won't save her either. The engine actually gives queen takes h5 as the strongest move in this position. Well, if you have to play that, then you know something has already gone horribly wrong for white. The move from the game, knight e4, is a less desperate move, but it's also quite desperate. Sziva could just have taken that knight, but she saw the mating sequence and she played the strongest move, knight g3 check. Lalić took, h takes g3 with a checkmate threat on h2, and you cannot play h3 because the rook comes there anyway, and it's checkmate because this pawn is pinned. Look at those wonderful, beautiful bishops that Sziva has. It makes you think of the immortal game by the great Akiba Rubinstein, which I also covered on my channel. So after h takes c3, Lalić did not play h3, but she played bishop takes d4, get at least rid of one of the bishops, but to no avail, because here comes the finishing touch from Erika Sziva. Rook takes h2 check. Yes, the king can now go to g1 with that bishop on d4 gone, but queen takes d4 check, and the queen is taking the place of the bishop, and here Susan Lalić resigned. Why did she resign? Well, there's a forced mate. After queen e3, there is rook takes g2 check, and that rook is of course protected by the bishop, so you only can go to h1, and then the last piece, black's last piece that didn't play yet, comes into the game to deliver checkmate. Rook h8 is checkmate. Wonderful game. No surprise that Erika Sziva mentioned this as her favorite game. A great demonstration of the power of the bishop pair and attacking with all your pieces. And this last variation shows that even the last piece, the rook on a8, also played a role in this game. And another funny aspect is that this bishop on b7 played a very important role, even though it is attacked. But it is attacked but not taken yet, so it still had its power. Wonderful game from Erika Sziva, and I'm very grateful for her being the sponsor of the Chess to Impress YouTube channel. Also thanks to Willem F for his generous donation recently on PayPal. If you want to support the channel, the link is in the description box. Hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe to the Chess to Impress channel. Please leave a comment. And you also may want to check out my other channels, Chess to Progress, more aimed at improving players. For example, I've done 50 videos there on games sent me by viewers. And please don't forget to click on the link of the MindgameShop and the Best is Yet to see what Erika Sziva's business has on offer. This is Rick for Chess to Impress. Thank you for watching.